Welcome back, second grade. Today I need to show you a few steps for our Chris Uphew's heart project. So last week we talked about how to draw a heart, talked about overlapping, and then some of you got started on putting faces in your hearts. So I'll make sure that I have this handout for you again. It's just an idea sheet. You're not tracing it like this, and you're also not cutting it out. It's just an idea sheet. If you want to use your own faces, that's perfect too. Okay, so after we have all of our details in pencil, we're going to take a Sharpie and trace our pencil lines. So I'll have two different types of Sharpies. This one is a finer one, so when we use it, the line is going to be a lot finer or thinner. The other type is the one you've probably used before, just a normal fine point Sharpie that has this line thickness. Depending on how small your hearts are, you might need to use the fine point for small shapes, and you can use the regular one for larger areas. So take your time when you trace your hearts. We will make sure that we have smooth lines and you're just following right on top of what is already on your paper. So again, if you've got a smaller heart like this one down here, you'll probably want to use the fine, ultra fine tip marker. Just be really careful when you do your faces, because if your shapes are too close together, they're going to start to bleed. So here's an example. If I take my regular Sharpie and I trace over this small heart, it's going to be almost impossible for me to be able to see what's going on in here. If I do it with the smaller Sharpie, I can see some of my details a lot better. Okay. So after you have all of your Sharpie details done, we need to talk about how we're going to use our marker. So in our learning goals, we talked about using outlining and stippling. So we're not going to use our markers other than to just kind of outline a few details, and then also to do the stippling. We're not just going to color like we would normally do. So when we outline, it's similar to what we just did with our Sharpie. So on each of your hearts, you'll decide a color, and you're just going to go on the inside of your Sharpie. I would just do the heart part. I would not do this to your facial features, like your eyes and your mouth. So this is an example of outlining that you'll do in each of your hearts. And then for stippling just means that you take your marker and you make some dots. So you can have fun picking which colors will look good next to each other, but I just wanted to make sure that you also don't press too hard. So if I press too hard with my marker, I'm going to smash the tip so that it's going to be, it'll be messed up if you press too hard. So just make sure you are lightly pressing. So again, to recap, trace or outline with Sharpie first, and then you'll use your marker to outline the inside of your heart. And then stippling, choose some colors to do some dots around your hearts in the background.